pitch of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. And off we go from SoFi Stadium. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Stafford going to throw from the outset. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Here's Stafford. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Out of the gun, Stafford. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Heck of a start for him here, Charles, on this opening drive, and they're doing it all through the air. That's 4 snaps and 4 passes so far.
And I do think that there's an argument, Brandon, to maybe mix in a running play or two, but the way that these offenses are constructed, you can get that done with swing passes and checkdowns. The way they're throwing it, I'd keep pressing it downfield.
Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Now 2nd and 9. Now Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Now Stafford. That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. Up the middle, it's Williams. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Stafford now to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on third down and 5. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up first and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. Here's Stafford. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
On second and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. He's going to get it running right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on first down, then ran it on second down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important third down try?
Now Stafford on third and goal. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Disastrous outcome there on third and goal. They lose 9 yards on the sack.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chargers getting set to go. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, first and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's taken in by Quentin Johnston. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Well, this is caught by Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A run now for the rookie out of Georgia. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Herbert now. Setting up the screen, Harris. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's Herbert. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. Second and 9. Herbert off of play action. He gets it to Johnston. And they'll get this down to the 10. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Here's Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers! Quentin Johnston from 10 yards out. And the Chargers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter. The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw, Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. From the 50, it's Stafford. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So on 4th down, on is Ethan Evans to punt for the Rams. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, back
into a double team, and it's intercepted. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Slant to Adams. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Davante Adams. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams are once again back in front.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Troy Reeder, the man to take him down.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harris. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
And this one is right down the middle, and that will knot us up at 10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 5. Again, it's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
To throw is Stafford. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Ethan Evans on now to punt. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle and caught by McConkey. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Open man here is Conklin. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here comes 3rd and about a foot. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Wide open receiver, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards that time.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And a short gain down to about the 33. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Herbert. He finds Johnston. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
He's got another one to Johnston. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a first down carry for Harris. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Now it's Herbert. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Ladd McConkey from a yard out. And the Chargers are going to take the lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Open man is Atwell, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the 1st half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stafford. That's caught. Puka Nacua. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. It's a gain of 34. And that seemed to me to be all about trusting your receiver.
No doubt about it, because when he put that ball in the air, I will guarantee you everyone who's watching this game right now thought that's up for grabs. But this is a lot of practice time. As you mentioned, a ton of trust, and he knows how good his guy is. So to him, it wasn't up for grabs. To him, it was a big play waiting to happen.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing is Stafford. Caught on the right side by Adams. The Rams going to go ahead and use the 1st of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on 3rd down. Stafford looks to throw again. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. The Chargers going to signal for the 1st of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Chargers going to take over now late in this 1st half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Here's Herbert. Pass hauled in by Johnston. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. Now 2nd and 3. Herbert now. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the 1st half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Flushed out right. Open man right side. That's McConkey. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. A final shot before the break. Stafford. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. He'll find Williams on the slant. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert finding Williams once more, complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Herbert running left off the option. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. Back to throw. Herbert. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Harris running straight ahead, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Second down and 8. Looking to throw. Herbert. And this one finds McConkey. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 34-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. Back to throw. Herbert. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. And that is taken in by Hurst. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Hayden Hurst, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point try now from Dicker. And the lead is up to 14. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll make it second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Stafford. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. So the completion results there in 9 yards. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw, Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. 3rd and 3. Herbert. He gets it complete to Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Now Stafford. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll get this one up to about his 14.
Deion Henley there on the tackle.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Here's Stafford. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
He'll get that complete to Parkinson.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really, you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here comes the Rams punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field.
This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. After the interception, here's Stafford.
He'll get this one complete to Atwell.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing is Stafford. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. Here's Stafford.
To the right side and complete to Atwell.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown.
2-2 Atwell.
From 21 yards away.
And the Rams have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul, but the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound, and the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 36 yards on the play.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. To the air again, Herbert. Throw over the middle, and it's caught by Johnston. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. L.A. set to take over again on offense. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams shedding through the defense, and he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
40 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
To throw is Stafford. That's quickly to Atwell on the slant. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford.
That one into the hands of Adams downfield.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now it's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A give to Williams, running right. Shoves him away. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Stafford looks to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Touchdown, Rams. Davante Adams with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Rams have got it back to within a score.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. L.A. readies for its next possession.
I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space? Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
The Chargers on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark, because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, Boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down at 7.
Herbert back to the air. And this is caught by Williams. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 41-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the give, this is Harris. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now a toss play. It's Harris. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They run for it with Harris.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The false start hurts him there a bit, backs him up to 2nd and 9. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that is incomplete here.
Will Dissly, the intended receiver.
But now it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Now it's Herbert.
On the out route, he finds Johnston.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Chargers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest. I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, the decision paid off indeed. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch.
And the Chargers get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away.
And the Rams getting set to go now.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
A shotgun snap for Stafford.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Stafford.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Throwing again is Stafford. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 20-yard line. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10.
Stafford now to throw. The left side throw complete to Adams. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Now 1st and goal.
Now it's Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Now Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Tutu Atwell
with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Rams are back within a score.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So they got their touchdown, now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Here's another carry for Harris. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Herbert. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick here is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now Stafford and the Rams down by 6, 23 seconds to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Stafford. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.